Hi, good afternoon. This is Harsha. So, we are a team of three members. So, as part of this hackathon project, we actually tried to build LLM with personalized feedback. So, whenever a user is interacting with the LLM, it becomes crucial for the system to understand the personalized feedback. And based on the feedback, the responses should be curated. So, whenever a response is generated in a generic sense by an LLM, if the user wanted to have that response in structured format or rather in a detailed format or wanted to be in bullet formats. So all this sort of feedback should be collected, and based on the user preference, the latest user preference, the response of the LLM should be like the one as preferred by the user. So in this particular demo, I would like to show that. And to trace all the kind of personalized feedback that the user submits to the system, we actually built a form of a knowledge graph to better understand what are the preferences of the user and what's the latest preference of the user. And I also added session to this. So when we close this and when we get back to the same user, the latest preference would be stored, and based on that, the response would be generated. So that's the demo is going to be like. So for example, let me type in a user. So there's a new user. And if you could see, let me bring this down. And if you could see, this is the knowledge graph, and currently it is now empty because we need to ask certain questions to LLM. So let me ask a question like, what is special theory of relativity? I'm just typing in enter. So it just says a generic response. So I'm not quite convinced with this response. If we are convinced, then we can go ahead and click this thumbs up. If not, we can give thumbs down. And it will ask for the improvisation. So for example, I would like to mention, explain the concepts in bullets, okay? So like explain the concept in bullets. And I'm just pressing enter or just clicking the submit feedback button. And you see the updated response would be in the bullet format, and also my knowledge graph will be updated with edge marked in red color. Okay, so this shows the current preference of this user. And now the user is not quite convinced of this, and say for example, he is going ahead and mentioning like explain in paragraph and translate to French. Okay, this is the something that the user is giving for the second try, and let us see. So this is the French translation of the sentence that we have. And since the user asked to generate in paragraph, it did get generated in paragraph. And if you could see here, now you could see the edges are marked in red and gray. Gray means that's the previous preference, and red means is the active preference. Okay. So always, whenever the user is typing in the prompt for the next time, only the node which is connected with red edge will be given the first preference. Okay, say for example, I'm just closing this session, and let me type in the user Karun once again, and we will have this knowledge graph stored. Okay, so now this time if you ask any other questions like who is for example Stephen Hawking, I'm just pressing enter. So now you will have by default the response generated in paragraph format, and it will be in French. Okay, so this is how generally the memory is stored based on the user's latest preference, and the user can go ahead and submit the feedback as required. Okay, I did try with various examples. Let me just quickly show you a few examples. So I did try with allies. Okay, and for allies, you see the response is coming in bullet format, and it is written in Korean. Okay, because this is what the preference of the user allies is like. So in this, the red is actually pointing to I want in bullet format, but this time in Korean. So this shows that all the generated responses would be in bullet format and will be written in Korean. Okay, so this is the essence of storing in memory. And based on the latest preferred a type of prompt that the user requires, the LLM is generating the response. And this is stored in memory. So whenever the user is logging off the system and logging in, they will be getting the personalized feedback uh, as required by the user. So we can also reset the memory for this user if wanted to start fresh. So the memory has been reset and we can start typing in. So this entire project, the essence is like to just leverage the concept of storing the in-memory capability of personalized feedback, so that whenever the user is logging the system the next time, based on the latest preferred choice, the response of the LLM would be like chosen by the user. So yeah, thank you so much.